Hi everybody, it's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self-Empowerment Master. I got a really red little face because I did some interval training today, which feels super good. And also very proud of the fact that my body is healing. I fell down 2 flights of stairs, 3 years ago, and really injured myself, and then ended up having a torn rotator cuff and an 8-inch hematoma on my bottom of my spine, and it took forever to get healed. And I also went through a finalizing of a divorce after 10 years of being legally separated, but living in the same home, living with autism, and all that needed to happen in that arena. And so to be exercising and running on a treadmill or walking or doing strength exercises feels amazing. And that's part of what everybody who is out there trying to better the world or talk about how we better ourselves says that, we've got to take care of our body and energy. But I'm not here to talk about exercise. I'm certainly not an expert on it. I can only share what it feels like to be 49 years old, going through menopause and coming back from an injury. And I started at I think 2.8 on the treadmill and went up to 3.2 on the first 20 minutes. And today I did 4.5 miles, running at 5 and coming back to 4.5 when I was resting. So, and that's in a span of about 6 weeks. So I think that I'm pretty excited about that. Hello everybody. Thank you for joining in. I wanted to talk about something that that came to me. I've been listening. I listen every day to all kinds of people. I'm certainly not the only person out there talking about all of this, thank goodness. But I can bring my experience and hope to people and everything that I love to do. Thank you for the hearts. I love it. Thank you. I want to talk about judgment. And have you ever been around somebody who's super judgmental, critical, always maybe snarky, maybe sarcastic? I was one of those people. I maybe didn't say a lot of things out loud. Sometimes I did. I gossiped a lot in my 20s. I was very, very judgmental. And, I had to hit a bottom, and I had to surrender that pain and realize that that everybody is doing the best they can. I know that gets said a lot, and maybe it's not exactly true, because I think some people could do a little better. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to show you my judgment right now. True that. So when I'm talking about judgmental people or critical people who are out there, recently I did a self-examination, and I was feeling really pissy about cleaning my house. I know what a baby problem, right, to have, but for years and years with a child on the spectrum, cleaning your house is an all-day event, and sometimes it just isn't going to get done. And I know a lot of people who have housekeepers, and I was feeling really, really sorry for myself and being upset about that. And I decided that I was going to make a choice to absolutely not complain. No matter what, I was not going to complain about what toilet I had to clean for the 15th time. If you have boys, I wasn't going to talk about, cleaning the urine off the floor. If you're raising boys or have raised boys, you know what I'm talking about. I wasn't going to complain about anything that happened. I was just going to have joy doing it, and I was going to be proud of it, and I was going to, make a conscious effort to enjoy that work and realize that is the work and the love that I'm showing my family and my child and myself by having a clean environment and an organized environment. It seems simple, but because I made that choice, I said I'm going to go 6 months without complaining. Well, I think it's been maybe 10 months, maybe a little longer. And I have enjoyed redoing things in my home, getting little hacks from other people, getting rid of all the toxic cleaners. And at this point, I can't imagine not having that be my job. I mean, maybe one day it won't be, but at this point, I can't imagine it not happening. And I thought, wow, you know, it's so nice not to have to bitch and moan. And I think after 25 years of working on yourself, you would be a little farther along, but I wasn't, and I let it slip back into my life. So on to people who are constantly critical of others, or complaining, or unhappy, or difficult to be around, which I'm sure I was many, many times. The big note that came to me, the big aha, was that as critical and difficult as they are to be around, and how difficult they are to others, and how mean-spirited, you know, first of all, sarcasm, to the root meaning of it is to tear flesh. So I'm not really into sarcasm. Maybe dry wit, no problem. But people who kind of love that sarcasm, they make me uncomfortable now, because I don't want to be on edge, and I don't want to feel those feelings. So I'm pretty like, you know, not going to be my scene anymore. But let's say I have somebody who I care very, 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 very much for, and I'm working with them in my capacity as a mentor, and they are super critical. Well, it's not going to help me to criticize them. It just isn't, because this is what I found out, and this is what I believe to be true because it's mine. As much as they're criticizing other people or judging other people, they're 100 times doing it more to themselves. That they are in so much pain, and their self-hatred is so high that they can't even see that they're doing this. All the things that they're saying about other people, they're saying much worse about themselves. And they need my compassion, and they need my empathy. Not to the point where I allow them to abuse me, not to the point where I allow them to take advantage, or it's an uneven relationship. Although in relationships, there are times where somebody is more giving and someone needs a little more help. That's a mature way to look at a relationship. And I can look at them at this point and say, okay, what can you do to be kind to yourself? Because I have never gotten anywhere by yelling at myself. I've never gotten any kind of transformation by being angry with people around me. Or I should say sarcastic and judgmental, because I talked yesterday about legitimate anger and saying that, yes, that's okay to go ahead and write that letter and get that out. So I just wanted to leave that in here. If you've got some people in your relationship, especially as we're doing a lot of writing, that are really just kind of nasty, one, you may determine that they need to be out of your life, or you have a certain amount of time that you spend with them. You know, I call it a sandwich. If I'm going to go spend some time with somebody, because it is important that I spend time with them, I always have an appointment after, and I always have a call before, because that way I have set boundaries for myself. It has nothing really to do with them. It's about me having boundaries for myself and taking care of myself within that relationship, and my capacity to be around that person, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And I learned that by going over it a little bit, you know, and not beating myself up like, oh, you know, that was about 10 minutes too long on the phone with that person. Next time I'm going to do better, and next time I'm going to try and make sure that I stay. I don't sit there and argue with them. I don't point out the good, you know, or why they shouldn't feel that way. I don't try to change what they need to be doing right now. I can say I don't have the capacity to deal with it. I'm not in a place where that can land on me anymore. But love and compassion and empathy is going to get a lot farther. And so today I'm going to spend time looking at people. I'm going to be out in the public, and I'm going to spend time looking at people. And if they are nasty to me, because I do a lot of service, and this is very quick service that I do for, you know, the next 6-7 hours. And some of these people are not always nice. Sometimes they're really nasty. I am going to consciously, if that reaction, because the first thought you may not always have control over, but how you respond to the first thought is in your control, and it is in my control. And so I'm going to take the time that if somebody's nasty, I'm going to assume that something is going on in their life that is put them in a lot of pain, and that it doesn't have anything to do with me. And I do not need to take it any further than that 3 or 4 minute exchange. So it's going to be a short video today, because I have got to head out. But I'm so glad people were able to join. It's beautiful in Southern California. I hope that the rest of the country is enjoying this Friday. I know Friday's a fun day for a lot of people, so have a good one. Talk to you later.